your champions Heather and Miles take on Casey and JoJo. Are you ready? We're ready!
I'm ready!
I'm ready!
I'm ready!
I'm ready!
I'm ready!
Tonight, your champions Heather and Miles have a record of 13-0, but they are going for their 14th win against the winner of TNT's March Madness tournament. They defeated 28 teams to emerge victorious Tuesday night at TNT's March Madness tournament, and that champion is Casey and JoJo, and they get to fight Heather and Miles tonight. Now, let's go to the audience to see who their favorite is tonight.
They're both really good, so I don't know what to say.
Heather and Miles.
Heather and Miles. Heather Miles.
Yeah!
And I'm obsessed with Heather. I love her. I think she's kind of like Rosanna Arquette in Pulp Fiction. She's like, yeah!
Heather and Miles.
Heather and Miles.
Heather and Miles.
H&M forever.
Casey and JoJo all the way.
They just went through that March Madness fucking thing, so they got to be good.
In tonight's cage match, your challengers Casey and JoJo will be going first, followed by your champions Heather and Miles. Now, let's see some show highlights and see who won the show!
Just get off this exit right here. Listen, I can work at Hooters. It'll be fine. Yeah, I'll take the, can I get the buffalo? Let's have water. Alright.
Do you need forgiveness?
Yes.
Seek forgiveness.
Yes, I'm seeking
You're absolved.
Really?
Hold on, God is calling. Am I making
Are you kidding me? You guys just hand out absolution for a fucking murder? Mr. Albertson, sit down. We've been having a problem with Charles in class. Every time we get out the super glue, the Elmer's glue, what he likes to do is squirt glue on the female's titties. Well, he does. He's just terrible. Sorry, I'm not going to let you go outside this afternoon. Because I'm coming over to you. Your mother's passed, and I feel like
Fuck you, you made this so hard.
Alright, you know what? I'm going to kill you as an old woman. Next week, facing Lord Well and Welby, Heather and Miles.
It's Heather and Miles again for 14 wins in a row. That's 1, 4. You add it up, that's 14 wins. Divided by 2, you got 7. Times it by 2, you're back at 14 wins. How did they pull the win off tonight? Let's check in with our Improv Analysis, the Tim Russert of Improv, Jonny Svarzbein, in the Improv Locker Room.
Thanks, Harrison. What we had here was a classic 3-on-2 throwdown in the cage match form. First, we had our challengers Casey and JoJo choosing to go up first, and they got the suggestion of shampoo, which they used in their first scene, which was a family that thinks their life is exactly like Everybody Loves Raymond. Then we met Derek, who had his joint for the very first time. We met Rodney, who uses anything to jerk off at any given point, at any given moment. We met a hip-hop elementary school principal who lost his wife to Lil Wayne. We met John Mayer being really raunchy and wanting to cut off chicks' tits and put them on his fridge. And they ended it all with a Hooters waitress. It's a great set by our challengers. Then we had our champions Heather and Miles coming up second, and they got the suggestion of afro, which they used in the first scene, which was a breakup with a pregnant woman in 1970. Then we met a white dude with an afro that was being treated like the Antichrist, that ends up being a sports wig. We met a daughter running away from home into the wild, a kid tracker with a jaw falling off, a feral man-child getting fucked in the ass by a moose, a random car murder, and then they ended it all with a feral wilderness kid into a moose, found tree time machine into a time reversal into a second earlier time reversal, and they ended the show early and ended it all with an outtake reel with 1 minute left. What happened in the end? Our champions remain champions, and you'll see them next week in the UCB Cage Match. For UCB Cage Match, I'm Jonny Schwartzman reminding you that anything can happen. in a cage match.
Thanks, Johnny. Now that's another win for your champions, Heather and Miles, bringing their grand total to 14 wins in a row. Next week, they will be going for the crucial win of 15 wins, but they will face a very tough competitor. Lord Willen will be here to compete against them, and they are ready to stop Heather and Miles in their track. Now, if you want to make reservations for this show, go to the UCB Theatre. You can make your reservations, and then you just show up at the theater. You know the routine. Now, if you'd like to see highlights from either of our teams tonight, Heather and Miles or Casey and JoJo, you can find links down below. Follow those links, and you'll be able to see a full highlight set of those teams. Alright, now, until next week, keep on rocking.
Casey and JoJo is a really good R&B group.